Max Verstappen doesn't have a driving style, and that might be the most terrifying thing in Formula One right now. Every other driver on the grid is chasing a setup, a car that matches their style, their preference window. Max doesn't have a window. He has a full floor-to-ceiling wall. Understeer? Fine. Oversteer? Fine. Heavy car, less aero, traffic, 24-hour endurance stint? Fine. 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 And in 2026, where the regulations demand that you're not just a driver, but an energy manager, a systems operator, and a strategist all at the same time, that's the most dangerous combination in the history of this sport. Let me take you back to something Max said in an interview with The Race. He was asked about his driving style, and he said something that nobody really picked up the way they should have. He said you constantly adjust. Understeer, oversteer, slippery track, grippy track. Weekend to weekend, it changes. And if you rigidly cling to my driving style, you won't be quick. That is the most honest, most devastating thing a four-time world champion has ever said about his own competition. Because to every driver who has a defined style, Max just told you that's a ceiling. It's a box they built for themselves. And he doesn't live in boxes. Sebastian Vettel had a style. Front-end loaded, turn-in aggression. Give him that car and he's a genius. Take it away and suddenly he's spinning out of wet German Grand Prix in front of his home crowd. Lewis Hamilton had a style. Understeer, smooth inputs. Mercedes built a car around his specific preferences for a decade. Max Verstappen? Well, in 2025, Red Bull's car was genuinely slower than the McLaren. And not by a little. By a lot. And he still closed a 104-point gap at one stage to within 2 points of the title. Not because the car suddenly improved. It's because he drove around the problems. He adapted. This is exactly where people get this all wrong. Everyone talks about Max's control style like it means he's calm, like it's just a vibe, a personality trait. It's not a vibe. It's a stack. It means car control. Max can keep a stable rear end and predictable balance even when the car is misbehaving. He doesn't need the setup to be perfect to go fast. He corrects while going fast. As for system control, in 2026, with the mgu-k jumping from 120 kilowatts to 350, that's nearly triple the electrical power. Every single lap has energy deployment decisions embedded into it. Managing that without sacrificing lap time is a skill most F1 drivers have never genuinely needed. Max has been doing the sim racing equivalent of this since he was a teenager. This one is underrated. Max's risk control. Max chooses when not to fight. The 2021 era Max would have gone door to door with anyone. The 2024 Max ended it with one move. Clean, surgical, gone. Or he'd back off, preserve, and come back. That's not the same driver. That's a driver who learned that picking your moment is faster than proving a point. And speaking to Max's emotion control, let's go back to 2025. 104-point deficit. He didn't crack. Radio was clean. Tires were clean. That's not natural. That's developed. As for team control, his feedback loop with Giampiero Lambiase, 9 seasons together, means the car gets better faster than other teams can match. One clear lap, one radio message, and the setup direction is set. That's speed that just doesn't show up on a timing screen. 5 layers, running simultaneously every single lap. That's what control means. Before I get into the part that I think genuinely makes Max untouchable in 2026, and this connects directly to what I covered in the last video about the Dynasty, if you're here for F1 content that doesn't water stuff down, hit like and subscribe. Button's right there. Now, real-world proof. Because theory is nice, but receipts are even better. In September 2025, Max entered the Nurburgring Nordschleife NLS race in a Ferrari 296 GT3. Not a Red Bull. Not his F1 car, a completely different machine. GT3 class, which means heavier car, less aerodynamic downforce, longer stints, traffic management, essentially the opposite of what he does every Sunday in Formula One. He won on debut. F1.com quoted him saying they didn't make any big mistakes and that winning on debut there was amazing. But here's the thing. He didn't win because he figured out the Ferrari 296 faster than the other GT3 drivers. He won because his control stack transferred. Traffic management? He ran it like a chess game. Heavier braking zones? Adjusted immediately. Energy and tire management over long stints? He's been doing that in simulations for years. Different car, different grip, different traffic, same result. That is the core argument. Adaptability isn't just a mental attribute, it's a competitive weapon that works across platforms. And he's been open about wanting to do the full 24-hour race at the Nordschleife eventually. He said he wants more experience first, which tells you exactly how he operates. Even when he wins on debut, he doesn't declare himself done. He goes back and learns more. That's the mindset of a guy who's going to be learning the 2026 regulations faster than anyone else is. Now, here's the part that I talked about in the last video, but it goes deeper than people even realize. Max won a virtual 24-hour race at the Nurburgring in iRacing. Then he woke up the next morning and won the Imola Grand Prix. People laughed. Oh, Max plays video games. No. Max has been training for the 2026 regulations his entire adult life without even knowing it. The 2026 overtake mode gives you a burst of electrical energy only when you're within 1 second of the car ahead. The boost button lets you manually deploy energy at any point on the lap. Recharge mode means every time you lift or brake, you're harvesting. Every decision tree, every energy calculation, every do I deploy here or save it for turn 12 moment. That's iRacing logic applied to real Formula 1. Stoffel Van Dorn, an actual Formula E world champion, the kind of guy who lives and breathes energy management, watched Max criticize the 2026 regs and said, "I think the clever guys in F1, which Max clearly belongs to, are going to get on top of that." Even the guy whose format Max just insulted is giving him the belt. Let me just come out and say what no one's saying directly. The 2026 regulations were supposed to be a reset, a chance for Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren to close the gap or even take the lead. And in some ways, they will. This is a genuinely open season. But the thing about a reset is that it rewards the drivers who can adapt the fastest, who can learn a new system, communicate it back to their team in clean, actionable feedback, and extract performance before everyone else catches up. That is specifically what Max does better than anyone. Lando Norris is fast. Charles Leclerc is brilliant in qualifying. George Russell is clinical. These are real rivals. 2025 proved that. Lando is world champion, and the dude deserved it. But Lando has a style preference. Leclerc has a style preference. Russell's got one too. And in a year where the cars are new, the energy systems are new, the driving techniques are new, well, the driver with no fixed style wins the adjustment race before anyone else has even started. Max doesn't need the car to come to him. He goes to the car. Every time. In the last video, I said Max was going for 7 world championships. This video is the why. It's not just sim racing. And it's not the GT3 win. It's not Lambiase's voice on the radio. It's not even the Red Bull Powertrains engine that Toto Wolff himself called the benchmark after day 1 of Bahrain testing. It's that Max is the only driver on the grid who genuinely doesn't need a specific car to go fast. And in 2026, when nobody knows what the optimal car is yet, when the engineers are still figuring out the energy systems, and when some drivers will spend their first 6 races getting comfortable, Max will already be at the limit. Because adapting isn't something he does when he has to. It's the only mode he's ever known. The Dynasty isn't built on dominance. It's built on the ability to be lethal in any situation. And that, nobody is catching that. Drop your take below. Type untouchable if you think Max's adaptability puts him clear of the field in 2026. And if this video connected the dots from the last one, share it with someone who thinks Max got lucky with dominant cars. Because luck doesn't win at the Nurburgring in a GT3 on debut. Hit like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.